Right now, we are walking into the second most haunted place in the entire country. Hello from Hidalgo, Mexico. This is our very first road trip together.
We came here to find some escamoles and also to show you some of our favorite places here, because Hidalgo is full of so many lovely nature and a lot of history and also some kind of magical creatures that you're going to enjoy in this video.
Today for breakfast we came into town, into Huasca de Ocampo, and we brought Laska. For breakfast, I found this place that's pet friendly. It's called La Casa de la Tia, and looking at their menu, it looks like all of their breakfasts are paquetes or packages, and they include coffee or tea, like a lemon cake kind of thing, I believe it is. It says panque on the menu. I believe it's going to be de limon. Fruit, and then yogurt and granola. So you get all of that for somewhere between 100 and 150 pesos, depending on which option you choose. You know what would make this panque so much better? Heat it up and then adding butter. Your plate looks amazing.
It's too hot. It's so good and not spicy. I like it. So today I ordered this dish called huevos aporreados or blanquillos aporreados, which basically blanquillos is another way to call eggs here in Mexico. When you order huevos aporreados in any other restaurant, it's basically like a soup with the eggs and some kind of meat or nopales. In this case, it's not like a soup, but it has a lot of sauce on it. So it's basically like scrambled eggs with pieces of cecina and a red sauce, which is not spicy at all. And it has a quesadilla in one of the sides and frijoles refritos, or just the beans with a couple of totopos. So I'm really enjoying this because most of the time I don't like soups. I don't like to be eating a lot of liquid stuff, but in this case it's perfect because it has the perfect amount of sauce, and better for me that I don't like spicy things. It is not spicy at all, so you can try it as well.
And for breakfast, I got the tlacoyos, which is a food that you usually see like around the state of Morelos, around the state of Mexico. But basically, it's usually a corn dough folded into like a little boat-shaped thing. In this case, it has beans inside. Sometimes it has like ricotta cheese, and Laska just escaped. Okay, I'm back. We got the escapee. But yeah, so it has beans inside, and then on top there's like lettuce and radish and cheese and a cream. So I'll give this a try here. I like it, but you know what I think would make it really good? Is if I stole some of her meat and put it on here. I finally found a restaurant where I was able to pay with a card, but something I've noticed being in Huasca de Ocampo and the surrounding areas is almost every place is cash only. So if you're coming here, be sure to hit the ATM first. One of the tourist attractions in Huasca de Ocampo is Museo de los Duendes. And a duende is a goblin, an elf, or a fairy. All of these small human-like creatures fall into the category of duendes, and there's a strong belief by many of the locals here that these creatures exist here in this area. So today we're heading to the Museum of the Goblins. So it's pretty cool. On this trip with us, we have several generations of your family. You have everyone from your little cousin to your parents, your grandparents.
This is a very special trip for us because we are sharing this experience with a lot of my family members. So here we go. We are right now at the Goblins Museum or something like that.
Yeah, it's like goblins, trolls, gnomes, elves, something like that. I don't know the exact translation because they say it's elves, but to me they don't really... Well, some of them look like elves, but not all of them.
¿Estás lista para el museo?
Sí.
¿Sí? Vamos.
walking in here was like coming into another world. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm feeling a lot of things here. It's very interesting. I mean, I'm not scared, but I perfectly like it. I have a different feelings than the one I have when I'm outside of this place. So for me, it's a little bit interesting because it's like a very like weird sensation that I've never had before. So I don't know.
You're able to feel a lot of energies and stuff that I'm not able to. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to hear your perspective too.
And it's not everywhere, it's just certain places. I feel like I'm getting cold, but it's not that I'm getting cold. And I'm feeling like a little bit of shaking chills. And you can like also see it in my skin.
Yeah, goosebumps. Piel de
Yeah,
gallina.
exactly. But I like this place. I love this place. I can feel a lot of mysticism everywhere. So I don't know. Maybe we can find a surprise when we're watching a video of the radiation. So I don't know. Let's just enjoy it.
After you finish seeing the museum, you can come into this gift shop where they sell rocks and duendes and mushrooms and different kind of souvenirs like that. Mai got a couple of dream catchers in this gift shop here, and she likes Kelpie here. So Kelpie's a little baby elf, so I think we're going to get Kelpie as well. What are your thoughts on the Duende Museum?
I love it. I mean, it's a different experience. I love that place because I can feel a lot of things, as I said before, but also it's like so full of magic everywhere. And I've always thought that this place chooses you. You are not here like just because of a coincidence or something. So I don't know. It's like this little guy we adopted. I always love coming back here. Most of people might say like, oh, I don't see anything interesting here, but for me, it's like a whole experience full of a lot of things.
And I thought it was kind of cool. Like, even though I can't feel anything here, I just thought it was a pretty neat place. And to get in here, it's 40 pesos a person, so cool experience for not too much money.
And now we are taking our short 8 minutes ride to Hacienda San Miguel Regla.
Right now, we are walking into the second most haunted place in the entire country.
This is called Hacienda San Miguel Regla, which was one of the properties of Pedro Romero de Terreros.
And this guy was one of the richest guys in the world, and back in the 1700s, he was actually the mayor of Querétaro, and this hacienda was one of his homes, and he founded, you said, Huasca de Ocampo. Okay, and apparently he killed his daughter, his only daughter, in a very violent way.
Right here.
Right here. So now we're going to take a little tour. We're going to pay to take a tour. And we'll see what we find. The moment we walked into the very first building where the reception desk is, Mai was like, I don't like it here.
It feels weird.
As we're walking through here, the very first thing I notice is that this place is huge. There are so many buildings here, it's crazy. So far to me, this seems like an hacienda tour and not a ghost tour. Is that what we're doing? Just like a tour of the hacienda?
Yes. I mean, the hacienda, it's a hotel, but I don't know what else it's like you can do here, but yeah, we're basically doing the tour of the hacienda.
Okay, I was thinking it was like a ghost tour, but
trust me, you don't want that.
you gotta come here at night for the ghost tour.
No.
No.
The place you can look at our back is actually Bosque de las Truchas. This is not part of the hacienda. It's another sightseeing here at San Miguel Regla, where you can basically find a huge lake surrounded by a forest and a lot of trees, and you can go and take a boat with your family.
Take a paddle boat, a canoe, you can go
Yeah.
fishing, things like that. But yeah, that was a total surprise to see connected, like right up against the hacienda here. It's pretty cool. I would love to go do it. And you were saying there's restaurants there as well?
Yeah, there's a lot of restaurants outside where you can like cook the fishes you like
Catch,
get at, like
yeah.
you catch there, or you can just find like many varieties of trucha,
Trout.
cooked. Yeah, so it's a very good option to have lunch here.
For every hacienda that there is around Mexico, there was a purpose to each one of them. For example, I've been to an hacienda near Mérida in the state of Yucatan that was used to produce henequen. Well, around here there were a lot of silver mines. So that's what they were doing here. They were like refining the silver that they were mining from the mountains.
Yeah, actually a lot of people here in Mexico or around the world think that hacienda is like a huge house, but actually no. To be called hacienda, it has to produce something like silver or henequen or whatever, because that's the main purpose of an hacienda. It's like a huge land with house, but that also produces something.
And there's always people that live on the land as well. Like
Yes.
there's many buildings around where various people live. There's usually a chapel. Like for example, I went to another hacienda that was where the Herradura tequila is made, and that was similar to this, although I think this is the biggest hacienda that I've been to. So guests staying here have seen a little girl playing with a ball right over here. So I don't see her right now.
If you're interested, you can stay there.
Yeah, they rent these rooms. I think they're like $100 to $200 a night, something like that. Yeah, so if you want to stay here, and you might have a interesting experience.
Yeah, if you like adrenaline, you should stay here.
But it's a very pretty property.
It is. Actually, I like it.
Just not some parts. Not in the cave, not at reception.
Yes.
What was the tour guide saying about the reception area? Because that's the very first place you were like, I don't like this.
She said that her friend, like she also works here, she had experienced paranormal things there. So she doesn't specify what, but she said that a lot of people have said that the reception has something.
Okay.
So now it makes sense because I really don't like that place. This place is lovely, even with a ghost. But it's lovely.
Yeah, I was totally expecting a ghost tour, but it's actually a hacienda tour, and it is really nice. With the water around here, all the trees, the old buildings. It's a pretty cool place. I recommend it. I see cantaritos. Do you want a cantarito?
Maybe. Let's ask.
Okay. De piña or okay?
I don't know. This one is pretty.
So here, when you get your cantarito, you get to choose which one you want. And Mai went with a mushroom, and they all say San Miguel R for regla on it.
A ver, señorita, pruébele. Usted me dice si le ponemos más, le quitamos.
¿Está bien?
¿De tequila está
Sí,
bien?
está bien. Sí,
¿Verdad?
Sí.
What do you think?
It's refreshing. I mean, it's a little bit sweet, but not that much. And I can feel all flavors on it. Actually, cantarito is one of the most common and traditional cocktails that you can find like in local markets and things like that. So this is cute.
But normally when you get a cantarito, it's like a boring red clay. This one's painted all cool like this. And this thing with all this tequila in here prepared in front of you with the hand-painted cantarito that you get to keep. It was 90 pesos. I love it. I love the flavor of this. It's so good. So that dude who owned that last hacienda,
Pedro Romero de Terrero.
yeah, that dude, he actually had 3 haciendas in the area, and now we made the short drive to another one, like another 8 or 10 minutes down the road, and this one is Santa Maria Regla?
Regla, yes. And the other one, we don't remember the name. Sorry.
Sorry. The last hacienda tour involved a lot of walking, and the grandparents with us were getting tired, but as a matter of fact, I am too, and the sun is hot today, and I don't have a pretty hat like Mai does. I tried finding a pretty hat for me, but my head's too big and they wouldn't fit.
Your head is not too big. Let's say that the hats were too small.
Okay, the hats were too small and they wouldn't fit. So now we're gonna go get lunch. And where are we going for lunch? Real del Monte? Okay, let's go. Are we getting those pasties that everyone's been talking about?
Because I've heard that the best pastes of Hidalgo are there at Real del Monte, so I hope we're lucky enough to get ones.
And after traveling all around Mexico, this is literally the only place you can get them, of anywhere that I've seen at least. This area keeps surprising me. There's so much to do and see here, and the little towns here are super pretty and pretty cool to visit. But right here are prismas basáticos, like balsade, or I forget the English translation, but naturally formed prisms. So I thought that's pretty cool. So in Huasca de Ocampo, there's actually a mural of Lasca here. But while we're in front of Lasca, I wanted to tell you about how pasties came here, because to me it's kind of an interesting story. These are actually Cornish pasties, as in from Cornwall, England. And the English came here because they had some of the most advanced mining technology in the world and were able to reach deeper into the mines to get that silver deep down into the ground. So those Cornwallians, or whatever you call them, came here, and many other places around the world, and along with them brought their Cornish pasties, and now it's a staple of Huasca de Ocampo, and it's one of the most common things to get when you come here. Everyone has to get their pasties. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it was in the early 1800s when the English came to mine the silver in the area. But now we're going to drive back to our Airbnb and eat our pastas there. And now let me give you a tour of our Airbnb. This is about 10 minutes driving outside of Huasca de Ocampo. You come in through this gate here, down this nice long driveway. We actually have the whole house that we're renting. So it's me, and Lasca's here as well. It's pet friendly, but a really nice property here. And then on the other side here, they have an exit with this nice long driveway, so you can drive your car out without having to back up onto the road. There's a little house for the kids. So right over my shoulder there is the front entrance. And then we come over here and there's this awesome little fire pit with chairs made out of tires. I love this so much. They even have a cup holder, which I think is big enough to fit a caguama, a Las Caguama. And then over here they have some swings for the kids. Check this out, they made a motorcycle out of tires. There's a well here that I think is for decoration. I don't think this is actually drinkable water, but check out these views. Then you have a little duende here, making sure you stay safe. To our left here, we walk up here over to these stairs, and this is going to be like your barbecue area. There's a foosball table here as well. It's not free, it's 5 pesos per play, but still cool that they have it. And then you have a table to eat while you're grilling, and then a grill here. And also there's a bar there, but the chairs are all upside down on top of the bar. This place isn't totally done. I mean, it's basically finished. And right here, they're adding some parking spaces. It's almost finished. They just need to add some cement to fill in the cracks there. But yeah, this outdoor area, I love it. Oh, and then there's also, you go around that side of the house, and there's actually a small gym outside there for you as well.
Oye, eso no estaba en el plan. I'm attacked by a lobo.
By a lobo. And you know how much this place is? After all Airbnb fees, $61 a night. We get this entire house where Lasca can run all around. It has 3 bedrooms. It has 2 bathrooms, but I think my favorite part is the outdoor space here.
So this is the main entrance. We have a few steps outside, but it's okay because if you have any problem getting up those stairs, we have another entrance there. So right now we have a living room. It's a huge living room. It has like 2 couches, and even though they look a little bit simple, they are so comfortable, honestly. And I really like the fact that it has like a fireplace, but honestly it's not like a real fireplace, it's just like a simulation of a fireplace, but anyway, it looks good. The huge TV is amazing, but honestly I don't think you're going to use it here because there's a lot of things to watch in the city.
A big ass bug just flew in here. What the? Okay, so Mai got scared of the bug and now handed off the job of showing the Airbnb to me, which is okay. But as she was showing you in the living room, you have a couple of sofas there. I love the way this place is decorated, from the painting to the stuff on the wall. It's really nice. And then here you have a dining room for 8 people, a bar with 4 tables, a spacious kitchen over here as well. The kitchen is good enough for a short-term stay. You have your pots and pans. It's nothing special, but you have the essentials: a coffee maker, a blender, toaster oven, microwave, all those things. Over here is into the bedrooms, but you can close off the bedrooms from the rest of the house with these sliding glass doors, which is pretty nice. And then the first bathroom is over here, so toilet and shower. This bedroom, you have a bunk bed. There's some mattresses over there in case you have some extra people like we did. And then in this room, there's 2 twin beds. You have a desk here, and you also had a desk in the last one I showed you. And then we go into the master bedroom. You have a queen size bed. It's a pretty spacious room. There's another TV in here. So you have your bathtub and shower there. But yeah, you get all of this space. And if you're only 2 people like we were, the price after all Airbnb fees was $61 a night. And you have this massive yard for Laskia to play in, and they've decorated it awesome with that fire pit and those chairs made out of tires. You have that grilling area out there and the incredible views. Sure, you're not in Huasca de Ocampo, but you're not too far away from town either. It's about a 10-minute drive into town, so I think it's pretty nice. What do you think, Mai? Would you stay here again?
I think it should be the official Airbnb here at Huasca because I really love it. I mean, it has everything. It feels totally comfortable. It was clean. The owner was so gentle and he helped us during the whole process. He was flexible enough to allow Laskia to stay in, so for us that's so important. And yeah, basically the price is amazing. And when we were looking for those Airbnbs, this is the only one with 5 stars at Airbnb here at Huasca, and for us it's so important. So definitely we don't have to keep looking for any other options.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, this is going to be, I think, the official Tangerine Travels Airbnb for Huasca de Ocampo.
I love it. So we are going to have pastas for dinner today, but I wanted to add something special about the history of pastas. So as Stuart told you some hours ago, pastas basically were brought here by people from England. So as you might know, the original recipe was like a meat and potatoes pie. So in this case, it was hard for the miners or people who were working at the mine place, like to take the whole pie and eat them because they were working, and of course they didn't have water or anything to wash their hands. So basically they decide to fold the whole pie in like a taco or empanada or something like this and braid it. The origin is braided. So this has like a reason why. So if you can look at here, if we put 2 pastas like looking each other from this border, it basically with a lot of imagination, it has like a shape of the base of a helmet. So At that time, workers in the mine could put both pastes inside of their helmets. So they put it on, they go and work, and when it was lunchtime, they basically took off their hats and started eating their pastes. But why do they have it braid? Well, basically because when they were working at the mines, they were producing a lot of dust, but also produced cyanide. So they basically took the braid of the pastes, and this was the part they used to eat, with the filling on it.
Because this part was inside of their helmet.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
this outside part was outside of their helmet.
And they can take it out they can hold it from here, so they can eat it. And when they finish eating the part, they just threw the braided orilla, this part of paste.
Because that got cyanide on it.
Yeah, exactly, and it was poisonous. So they discovered that if they threw this part of the paste with cyanide on it, when rats that were a plague at that time in the city and inside of the mines ate it, well, they died because it's poisonous. So basically, pastes were made for two reasons. It was the main food for miners at that time, and also it was one of the main weapons to kill rats at that time. So I love pastes because they are so flavorful. It has a lot of filling on it. You can find a lot of different flavors, but also history is so interesting. So this is why we are enjoying this today.
All right, should I eat it like a miner would?
No, I totally forgot.
And then give the crust to Alaska? Oh, but I'm not trying to kill you, Alaska. Don't worry.
It doesn't have cyanide on it. How it's like?
So I got one with green mole, and that's the first one I picked up. And it's so flavorful. You have to try this.
We went to a place here at Huasca which is called Pastes El Sol, and we looked at Google and it said that they are the best pastes in Huasca. So pastes originally were brought to Real del Monte and Pachuca, but you can find it all around Hidalgo. So we went to the best place here in town, and apparently they are.
But even though it's all around Hidalgo, you cannot find them all around Mexico.
Oh,
it's so good, isn't it?
I love this. Oh my god.
Here, I'll give you half of it.
It's like a combination between salsa verde, like the one you can find in enchiladas, and mole verde. And it makes it so special because I love mole verde, but I also like salsa verde, and these two things combined tasted like heaven.
Oh, it's so good.
So I chose this one with the cheese and sausage. Even though it doesn't have any sauce or chili or anything, I find it so flavorful. I like it.
Yeah, so the outside, it's a little bit flaky, but the inside of the dough is still on the softer side, so it's very easy to eat.
I love this
one. So good. Today for breakfast we're in Huasca de Ocampo at this place called Casa Colibri, and here they're pretty reasonable prices and huge portions too.
Today I ordered a French toast as I usually do, and I can notice some differences between the original one that I already tried in Querétaro. For example, pan francés is usually made in a brioche, so this one it's some kind of bolillo, the one we use to make tortas in Mexico. It has a little bit of white cream and bananas and cajeta and some berries, but actually I thought it was going to be super sweet, but it's not. It's in a scale from 1 to 10, it might be 2.
So is it not good then?
I love it. Yeah,
oh, okay.
It's so good, but it's so different from the original, a French toast.
And I'll have to try my pasta. It came with goat cheese, sun-dried tomatoes, and spinach, but they specialize in cochinita pibil here, so I asked them to put some cochinita on the side as well. Yeah, it's very flavorful.
Pero ya no quieres o... Pues a ver.
What'd you get?
An apple. Apple ice cream inside.
I've never seen these before. So it's a fruit, in this case an apple, with ice cream on the inside.
Yeah, basically the fruit is like the container, and it has the ice cream from the same flavor you are choosing, like fruit. For example,
Oh.
if you pick an orange, the ice cream is like orange flavor. In this case, this is an apple with apple flavor ice cream.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I haven't seen them in a while, so that's why when I saw the name of it, I just immediately get in.
It's helados Chalco. And how much was this?
55 pesos.
55 pesos. Oh no.
Charita. Let me go for another one.
Okay.
I like this one. I've tried the other flavors before, but this one is like having like an apple milkshake or something.
May I try it?
Yes. So good. It's weird, because I've never had apple in ice cream. It's not so sweet. I'm loving it.
I really like that. That's super good.
Yeah, it's not so sweet. It's sweet, but not so sweet, and you can perfectly feel the cream flavor and also apple flavor. So for me, it's just perfect.
We didn't get to spend a lot of time in the town of Huasca de Ocampo while we were here, but I really like it. I think it's really pretty. It's a cute town. There's murals all over the place. So I think that's cool. And after traveling to many places around Mexico, I start to see the same artesanias everywhere, and they're the same crap that's imported from China, but some places you come and there's actually unique stuff, and this is one of those. So shopping around here and looking at all the different artesanias, there's so many things that I've only seen here in Huasca de Ocampo.
And so cheap.
Yeah, that's true too. This place is pretty affordable. Like, for example, we made the 3.5-hour drive here from Querétaro, and we didn't know what the parking situation was going to be like, but you can park your car in a secure parking lot and leave it there all day for somewhere between 20 and 40 pesos, depending on what parking lot you choose. So compared to other cities, that's so much cheaper. Like, I remember going to Sayulita 4 years ago, and 4 years ago they wanted 200 pesos to park there. If you park in Querétaro, you might be paying 10 or 15 pesos per hour, so that really adds up. I want more of that ice cream. That apple ice cream is so good.
Yes, unfortunately we cannot find it anywhere but here. I mean, they used to.
It's okay, no te preocupes. Something I love about this little town is that all the street dogs are friendly, so I don't feel like I have to worry at all about Laska getting attacked or something like that. But you can't find that ice cream anywhere but here, you were saying?
Yes, I used to find that in Querétaro, but not anymore. Last time I saw them in Querétaro was like 10 or 15 years ago. And
Really?
I remember that it were like about double the price. You can find it here, so that's why I ran.
I'm gonna have to look that up on like Google Maps or something to see where else they might have it.
I don't know if there's some restaurants in Querétaro still sell them, but honestly, I always take a look at the desserts menu and I've never found them. So
I love these donkeys here. They're so cool, especially this one standing up here. Look at this little guy. The initial purpose of this trip to Hidalgo was to get escamoles, so we spent our whole time there. We never got escamoles.
yeah, so we were a little bit disappointed because we were already on our way back to Querétaro. But actually, I don't know how, because he was driving, but he noticed a huge like letter that says like, it's not like announcement, that where it says like escamoles. So he just stopped in the middle of the road, and finally we have our escamoles.
By the way, if you didn't see the San Miguel de Allende video where we had escamoles, they're ant larvae, but they're so good. They're like a delicacy known as Mexican caviar. But we got a liter of them for 1,000 pesos.
Which is a good price. I mean, it's not the cheapest, but this is not the seasons of escamoles anymore. So if you are getting close to the end of the seasons of escamoles, like right now in August, September, it's going to be higher the price.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's a fair price to get a liter of escamoles.
Yeah, we found out the escamole season started in March. Was it? And what did he tell you about it? Like, he was telling you a bunch of stuff.
He explained me about how to cook them. I mean, we have to keep this in a very cold weather, and after that just put it in the freezer. He explained me exactly how to cook them, but if you would like to do, we record a video showing you how to cook this, well, let us know and we'll figure out how to show you how to prepare this delicious and healthy Mexican meal.
I am so excited we finally got our escamoles. And also in a San Miguel video, we were talking about red tuna and green tuna, and they're selling them here. You can get a box of them for 30 pesos. That's crazy. Mai had the idea to try something new and do a little trip recap after each trip we take to give you some more information that didn't make it into the video, our feelings about the trip, and other things like that.
So for me, it was a very special trip because it was not only my first road trip with him, but my first road trip with anybody else that it was not my family. I had spent a lot of time in my life just studying and doing my best, working a lot. I hadn't given myself the chance to experience that. So at the very beginning I was a little bit scared because I was totally going out of my comfort zone. But in the end I felt so proud of myself and also more connected with him because he all the time made me feel so secure and safe and supported, and I really loved that.
I really loved our first road trip together, and I thought it was cool to bring Laska as well, and a bunch of your family members joined us for part of the trip, so that was pretty cool to have several generations of your family on the trip. Speaking a little bit more informational, the drive was pretty easy to get there. It was about 3.5 hours from Querétaro, but the highways were pretty nice. A few potholes in some parts, but overall very nice highways going there. Tolls each way were somewhere about 300 pesos. I didn't keep track exactly, but about $15 give or take.
Another thing that we really enjoyed is the fact that that road is pretty safe. So you don't have to worry much if you are going through that road and it's getting late or it's getting dark. So that's something that right now it's sometimes our concern if we should travel to somewhere or not, but in this case we will feel totally comfortable with the road and its safety as well.
And I loved Hidalgo. Hidalgo has so much cool stuff. The nature there is really diverse. You can go visit Grutas de Tolantongo and be in natural hot springs, blue ass rivers, hot springs on the side of a cliff, or you can go to where we went and you're up in the forest. It's totally surrounded by nature. There's lakes and lots of history, and then there's also some other energy stuff that you kind of enjoy.
Yeah, actually, for the first time we thought that we didn't have enough time staying there. We are considering seriously to go back soon because we didn't even go to half of the places I wanted him to visit. So it's one of the places that you will never get tired of going to.
Yeah, and we went to Pueblo Mágico, Huasca de Ocampo, but there's also a couple of other nearby Pueblo Mágicos. Real del Monte or Mineral del Monte, there's two names for the same place, and then also Mineral del Chico is close as well. And all of those places have a lot of neat spots to visit.
Yeah, some of the main recommendations we should give to you is that if you're going, especially on weekends, we had a trouble at Real del Monte because we didn't knew that sometimes they close the streets that are surrounding Centro, so it could be walkable for everybody. So this time we had to be driving all around the town to be able to find a parking place. We didn't feel safe enough to leave it in the street because it was crowded, and
driving there was a nightmare. Oh my gosh, it would have been nice for that particular place in Real del Monte to have a very small car because the streets are just so skinny in some parts.
So if you're
But-
having a huge car, we recommend you to look for a parking place like that. It's not close to Centro. I mean, you can walk to Centro, like it's like 10 minutes walking or something like that. And of course, what we had mentioned at the San Miguel video, if you hadn't watched it, take a look. Like we really recommend you to go with comfortable shoes because the same as San Miguel, their street has like so ups and downs, and it could be like so hard to walk.
Something I really loved being there was how affordable everything was. From our amazing Airbnb we had that was like $61 a night after all Airbnb fees, to all the really cheap food like sit-down meals or street food, and even the artesanias. On our last day, right before we were leaving, we got 3 different things: a little squirrel, a little rabbit, and a duende riding a turtle. And all 3 of those was like 580 pesos total, if I remember the number right. It was under 600 pesos. So like even the artesanias were very affordable. And also there were lots of unique artesanias there, so I like that as well.
So Hidalgo, like for real, it covered all our perspectives and our goals. We wanted to like go there and enjoy. I think it has something very specific for everyone. You can find whatever you would like to. If you just want to go and try different food, you can find it there. If you want to go and look for nice artesanias, you can find it as well. If you would like to go and do something extreme like some road trips en cuatrimotos or something like so crazy, you can find it there. So there's an option for everybody. If you'd like to see more about Hidalgo, let us know in the comments, because we would love to plan another trip there so we can show you all the magical towns of pueblitos mágicos around Hidalgo. We literally fell in love with it, so it will be our pleasure to share it with you.
And let us know if you like this trip recap as well down in the comments. And if you like the video, go ahead and click on this playlist right here of all the videos that Maya and I have made together. And you can watch those until we see you in next week's video.